Hello, we are going to get started in just a second as soon as I am semi-organized. So you guys can start. This is Lorraine. You guys can start. Anybody that's out there can start dropping any questions that you might have into the comments. The rest of the team is around to try to help you out and answer them as well as we run through. If you want to, I don't know, have your Merch Wizard pop up ready so you can kind of take a look and follow along, you can do that. You certainly don't have to. And we will have the replay available afterwards, which will hopefully be helpful as well for anybody that may miss this or who wants to go back over things and just make sure that they've got it all down. So I'm just going to run through step by step, the entire app, because I know we've added a ton of new features, not just over the last few months, but really since day one. We've been updating this thing so frequently that I think a lot of people are just kind of being left behind a little bit. They can't keep up with all the awesomeness. So I want to make sure that everybody's on board with that and that we cover any questions that you may have. I'll be really looking to hit the questions kind of in between sections and more or less at the end, but the others, as I mentioned, will be in the chat along the way to help you guys out. So let's get started. So the first thing that I wanted to just touch on are the actual Merch Wizard settings, because I know that something that comes up quite frequently is, we get questions like, how come my PNG design files are not in my listings? I'm sure that I'm syncing everything properly. Well, you do need to make sure that you go over into your Merch Wizard settings before anything else, before you sync your listings or push them, and make sure that the setting to sync your PNG files is enabled. It's super easy. I'm just going to go pop into my settings right here. So I've just literally clicked on my Merch Wizard browser extension icon, click on the settings icon, which is the gear. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to look right here under general options, automatically push full-size PNG to Airtable. And I'm going to make sure that's ticked off if I want to make sure that I am downloading automatically every time I push a listing to Airtable, my full-size PNG design files. Now, besides that, I just want to go over real quickly while we're in here under general options, a couple of other things that have come up here and there. So first off, don't overwrite price on add details page. This is a really easy one and I can show you as we're running through it. A lot of people don't know what this means. This is very simple. So you're at the stage of your listing process where you've chosen your colors, the colors of the shirt that you want, and you've chosen the fit types. You've chosen man, woman, red, blue, green. You can enter in your price there. So now let's say you enter in a price of $19.99 at this point. You move to the next screen where it's the place that you want to enter your product details, your bullets, your description. And again, there's a price field here on this screen. Well, what happens is if you then use Merch Wizard to insert product data, you have to decide whether or not you want the app to insert the price that you're inserting the data from. So if you're inserting data from a standard t-shirt, but creating a long sleeve t-shirt, you may not want that to be the case. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, sorry, ask in the comments. I'll try to clear it up a little bit. But I do like to keep that checked off. So I'm going to go ahead and check that off. And really, as far as the general options, that's about it. The auto sync options I'll get to as I get to the auto sync feature. But general options, that's really about it. So just always make sure that you click save. And then you are good to go as far as the settings go. Boom. Okay. So moving on from there, the next thing I think that comes up before we even get started, but even if you're already started, you may want to know this. Hang on one second. I'm hearing that the screen is frozen. Let's see what's going on. I don't think well, let's see. Bear with me one second. Word is that the screen is frozen, you guys. I'm just going to check. See what's going on. Bear with me one second. Oh, I know what's wrong. Okay, hang on one second. Okay, I think we should be good now. Can you guys see the app now? I think you should be good now, and I think you should be able to see the app now. So if that's not the case, you guys can let me know, and I'm just going to show you that part again real quick. And I do apologize for technical difficulties. I'm new here. Not really, but you know what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to go over that again really quickly. I'm in the Merch Wizard settings page, general options. automatically push full-size PNGs to Airtable. Just make sure that is ticked off. And as I'd mentioned, the don't overwrite price on add details page, that's your personal preference. Do you want to control it on step 1 or step 2? Check it off or don't, and make sure that you hit save afterwards. And again, I'll come back to the automatic sync options, and we can come back to the OrbitKit options later. Okay. So from there, okay, so the next thing, as I was getting into, is how many bases should I use? I know a lot of people will come and say, should I be using one base? Should I be using many bases? It is totally your personal preference. We've tried to make things as easy as possible so that whichever way you choose to go, whether it's with the one or with the many, we're going to make it simple for you. Really, the primary reason that I can think of to use more than one base is to come in below the Airtable account tiers so that you can stay within a certain account level. So Airtable has restrictions on each account level, how many records that you can have within each base, as well as how much storage space you get within each base. So if you have many product listings, you may want to break it down. I personally prefer to keep everything in one base because it makes it very simple, but that's really what it comes down to. And as far as how should I break down my bases, because some people are like, well, should I do this by product type? Should I do this by marketplace? What we're going to suggest to you is that you don't do it by product type or by marketplace, but rather do it, if you're going to do it by brand or do it by niche. And the reason we say that is because it's something that you should be able to search by keyword. Number one, you should be able to search by keyword within your merch dashboard here. And easily pull up just the listings that are relevant to that particular base. And number two, and most importantly, we really would love for you guys to get in the habit of using the designs table. And I'll talk a little bit about why. And if you do, and if you're going to use the designs table, obviously it's going to be your best bet to have everything that's potentially linked to the same design record within the same base, right? So if you're splitting it up and you have a t-shirt in one base, a long sleeve in another base, now you've got to duplicate design files or skip over the designs table, which is just no fun. You don't want to skip that. It's really cool. All right, so that's pretty much why you would use two bases. It's very exciting. So next, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the components of Merch Wizard, because believe it or not, so many things going on here, so much awesomeness. I think a lot of times certain parts of it get skipped over. So there's three primary components here. You sign up for Merch Wizard and you're like, what do I do first? Well, there's three things going on, and I'm going to start with the browser extension. Okay, so the first thing is you've installed your Chrome browser extension. I'm going to show you around the browser extension now, okay? So bear with me one second. I want to just show you that this is basically where all your data lives. So if you've not found your way around yet and you're like, well, I don't feel like going into Airtable all the time. How do I access my data once I've pushed it in? This is where that happens. So you're clicking your little wizard, and you are simply able to utilize all the features here in the pop-up in order to navigate your data. Now, it's really cool. There's a lot to this. It looks a lot simpler than it is, so I'm just going to start at the top. The first thing to take note, if you're using multiple bases, there's a little drop-down up here, so you can easily and quickly switch between your bases. And that's super awesome. The primary, the basic search fields will allow you to search by keyword across all of the text fields. ASIN, it's pretty broad. You've got you can narrow down the source, and I'll show you in the Merch Wizard starter template the different table sources and where these are derived from. But you can choose from live listings, new listings, or the scalar table. You can filter by product type. You can filter by market, and then the real power comes in when you click on the advanced search, because the advanced search is where you're going to be able to really drill down. You want to pull up just listings within a certain brand that contains certain words within the title, bullet points, description. You can search by tags, so that could be your keywords or just tags that you've tagged off for editing purposes, fit types, niche. You can search with different operators, greater than, less than, equal to, price, number sold. You can hammer down into the products that have specific review status, how many stars that they've got, current BSR, and how far these products are from being removed. So you have a lot of power to really get down into the listings that you specifically want to see. Now, I just want to mention, because I know it came up in the comments as well, somebody had asked basically why they're only getting 300 results back in the table here no matter what they search. So they may, maybe you have 1,000 products that that are sitting in your Airtable base, but you come here, you search, and you're only coming up with 300. The Airtable API has a limitation that only allows us to return 300 products at once. Here's the thing, though. You really don't want to return more than 300 products at once, right? Because the reason that you're pulling them up in this search anyway is so that you can work with these products. And the reality of the situation is your computer does not want to open up 300 tabs. So the magic really is going to come in with using these various search fields to drill down to these very much more refined search results that are going to get you a lot further. And that's applicable no matter what you're doing, whether it's the batch editor or whether you're just looking to pull up, a batch of listings in order to get information out of it. You really don't want to be dealing with opening up 300 tabs anyway. So again, you really want to use these search filters to drill down a little bit further. Within the browser app, and we'll go over all of these specifically, you have several options up here. You've got Generate Store, you've got Batch Edit, you've got Download PNGs, you've got Push to Orbit Kit. I'll just mention real quickly, all of these work along with this selector field. I know a lot of times people will say, I don't understand. I cannot click the Generate Store button. I cannot click the Batch Edit button. I cannot download PNGs. It's super simple. You just want to either select all, or you can go ahead and cherry pick. And as you can see, the buttons light up at that point, right? But the one caveat to that is Generate Store, because in order to generate store, you also have to make sure that you've selected a specific marketplace. And that's just because we can't show products from both the USA and from other marketplaces on the same page. So that's how that works. I'm just going to go into an individual product and show you what that screen looks like. So if I click on an individual product, you'll see that each individual product screen has its own navigation. You can still perform a basic search up top. You can still swap bases up top. But now you have more options as well. You can indicate a POD where that particular design's been uploaded. So say we've uploaded it now to Etsy. We can click that. We can click this button here. We can mark it as uploaded. And now you'll find once we refresh this, it'll be added there. But it'll also be added in your Airtable base. And that's what's relevant. So you can really track which designs are uploaded where. Besides that, you've got all of the other information relevant to this product listing right here at your fingertips: brand, title, your bullets, your description. If you enter tags, you'd have tags. Clearly, I'm not that efficient in my demo base. You're uploaded to, your price, your ASIN, so you have easy access. If you're running AMS ads or whatnot, you can easily access this without having to do complicated searches. And most importantly, and most awesome, right down here, you've got access to your full-size PNG design file. Want to see it on white, want to see it on black. You can toggle in between. You can download the PNG with one click, or if you're a PC user, even better, you can click the copy PNG URL to clipboard button, and that just simply copies the remote URL that links to this file within Airtable so that you can paste it wherever you need to upload it, whether that's, to create another merch product, and I'll show you that in a little bit, to Redbubble, wherever it is, and you never have to download the file again. You never have to worry about having it locally on your computer. That basically this is what lives in the Chrome browser extension. So it's really awesome. This is like kind of the powerhouse. Looking up here in the navigation, it's simple. You go to the first of the search results, the previous, the next, the last. This 3 lines will take you back to the search results. Let's see, this will take you to your edit page so that you can edit your product within merch. This will take you to your product page. And this here, it says remove product via merch by Amazon page. All that's going to do is pull it up in your managed dashboard on merch by Amazon so that you could remove it yourself. We never actually remove a product for you. We'll never do that. That's just not something we want to be responsible for. So, all right, that's your Chrome browser extension. It's awesome. We love it. I'm going to take a quick browse through the comments and see if there's anything that I should have a look at real quickly before I move on to the next section here. So just bear with me a second. It looks like you guys are nice and chatty at the moment. Let's see. Well, it looks like everybody is friendly. Hello to all of you. But it also looks like you're pretty well covered at the moment. Wait, hang on. I'm just going to move right on. I'll come back. I'll come back at the end. Hey, To my team members out there, if you guys see any comments that I should specifically address at this time, if you guys want to just send that to me so that I'm aware of it, and I will, I'll get on those. But I'm going to just move on then to the next topic. The next component of our Merch Wizard awesomeness, of course, is Airtable, right? So Airtable is where a lot of the magic happens on the back end. So here's the awesome thing. You literally never have to come in here if you don't want to. You don't have to. We're not going to make you. You can operate the entirety of Merch Wizard through your browser, but you're missing out on a little bit of the magic if you choose to do that. So here's the thing. It's a little intimidating at first, right? But there's one really cool thing. And, you know, I think this is something that's really important. And that's that Airtable is backing you up too. You know, you have access to history so that you can actually look at snapshots. So if you go in there today and you screw something up, just if it doesn't work in an hour, just restore one of your snapshots. You're good to go, right? So there's very little to worry about in the world of computers when you know you've got that support of a backup. So keeping that in mind, this is our Merch Wizard starter base. When you get your Merch Wizard starter base, you guys all have this already, I'm sure, if you're on the premium tier, but I bet you a lot of you aren't using it to its maximum capacity, right? Because you go ahead and you push your listings, and I'll show you that in a quick second, but you push your listings, you sync them to Airtable, everything's coming right here into this listings table. And you have all your product data, and that's super awesome. But you know what? There's another table, which is the designs table. And the beauty of the designs table is this gives you kind of like a central hub where you can track all of the products that are linked to a specific design. And I mean, that's great for those purposes. It also helps out quite a bit. And I know this comes up a lot. People are like, well, I have the same exact design file for my t-shirt, for my long sleeve, for my sweatshirt, for my UK shirt, for my German shirt. Do I really need all of those to be stored in my listings table just, you know, for this one particular design, because it's eating up your Airtable storage space? And the beauty is if you go ahead and create a designs record instead for that design and you link all of those products to that design record, Merch Wizard is smart enough to look and say, okay, let me just pull the PNG design file from that design record for any of the linked listings. So you only need to store it once. You don't need to worry about having the PNG file in any of the linked listings. So here's a great example of that. Here's my design. I've manually created this design name, Cats Are Magical. I've gone ahead and I've loaded the PNG file for this particular design. I could equally load a hoodie file. That's a standard shirt file. I could load a pop socket file. If I was working with a designer, I could load their name in there. And here you'll see I've gone ahead and I've linked listings, and I'm just going to go ahead and remove them so I could show you how simple it is. You literally click the plus button. You'll begin to search for the ones that are relevant. You can just simply click it. You can add another one. And now we've got our listings linked. And what that means is that now when I pop into my Merch Wizard browser extension and I look for one of these listings, I search for one of these listings, right? Dun, dun, dun. And I know that this one, the long sleeve, I know does not have a PNG specifically attached to the listing file. However, when I click on it, you'll find that the extension is able to go ahead and retrieve the PNG file directly from its linked design. Now that's awesome, right? But it gets even better because there's also this awesome table down here, which is the niches table. And the niches table is going to go ahead and let you, and I'm not going to go too deeply into this. There's some awesome articles in our knowledge base that really dive in deep to this because this is very relevant to the OrbitKit integration as well. But what you can do is you can actually create records for different niches. You can assign them niche keywords. You can create parent niches, child niches. And then essentially what will happen is you can link these up with designs or listings, but really it works again best with the designs table. And you can generate dynamic lists of keywords. Now this is helpful again in terms of using it for OrbitKit, but even if you're just listing to Etsy, to Redbubble, and you need these huge lists of keywords, this is where it's really, the magic really happens, because as you'll see here, I've gone ahead and chosen my cats niche. I've added an individual tag, and I could add more that would be associated with this particular design, right? I've got my niche keywords, which are combination, of my niche and parent niche keywords. And here's my list then of final keywords, which combines all of that. So specific to my design, specific to my niche, specific to the sub niche. And I don't even know if these words are coming out of my mouth properly anymore, but you get the idea. It's generally awesome. So the designs table is great. I know people are going to have a ton of questions about that. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Try it. Open it up. Give it a shot. It's one of those things. When you try it, it just works. It's magical. We have a few videos on it. They're kind of older, but I promise we'll be coming out with some newer ones and some shorter ones soon that'll walk you through it. But try it. Give it a shot. If you have a hard time, pop into the group, ask us some questions, and we'll answer them, and we'll do our best to get you up and running. So that's Airtable. I'm going to show you now third component. Dun, dun, dun. And very exciting is the merch account enhancements, right? Okay. So a lot of times people, and this is why I wanted to get to this one last, because I think a lot of times people install Merch Wizard and they don't even realize there's anything beyond this, right? You come over and you're like, wow, oh, great. So I've got all this new cool stuff on my Merch Manage page. Awesome. That's Merch Wizard. That's not really just it, because as we just saw, we've got the browser extension, we've got the Airtable base, but here's where a lot of the awesomeness happens. You've got your Merch Wizard dash. And this is kind of the central hub for everything, right? This is where you're going to be able to, and I'm just going to run through each and everything that we've got here. We've got Start Automatic Sync. This is going to be available to elite tier members and above only. Okay, so Start Automatic Sync. Automatic Sync is going to, you click the button one time, it's going to automatically run through all of the listings in your merch account. It's going to continue just as push listings does. It's going to open up each and every product in a new tab, and it's going to close them, and it's going to go ahead and send those listings into your Airtable base. But again, it's going to happen all at once, so you don't have to do it for each and every single page of your merch account. You're just going to do it one. You're going to click it one time. If it stops, because it happens, right? You've been logged out. You get hit for a robot check. Your computer got unplugged, whatever the case may be. If it stops, when you click to start again, it knows where it stopped. Okay, so it's going to just go ahead and it's going to start again where it stopped. And I just want to show you real quickly, if we pop over into the browser settings once again, the extension settings rather, and we look at the automatic sync options, there are a few options here, and we do just read these instructions. I promise they're pretty explanatory. We do explain them. Yeah, that's the right English. Okay. Sync order. You can choose what order you want them to come, what order you want them synced in, oldest, newest, nearest removal first. The speed, slow, very slow, normal, fast, very fast. This is just a matter of what do you think your computer and your internet connection will be tolerant of. And this is like the important one, only resync listings after X number of days. So if you have that set to 0, okay, and you click the button now and you sync all of your listings, and then you click the button again 2 hours from now, it's again going to sync all of your listings. If you set this number to 7, what's going to happen is you click the button now, it syncs all of your listings. If you click the button again tomorrow, it will not resync any listings that it already synced today. It'll only sync new ones that didn't exist the last time you synced them. The next time it'll sync the ones that you've already synced today will be 7 days out. If you change it to 2, 3, 4, 25, you get the idea. Basically, that's the gap in between. So if you wanted to do it every single time, make sure that you have that set to 0. If you want there to be a delay so that hitting that button, it's still going to run through all your records to see what need to be synced, but it's only going to sync the ones that haven't been synced within that number of days, okay? So that's how the automatic sync works. Push listings to Airtable is our traditional one, and I'm going to apologize ahead of time if it takes a little bit longer than it typically would. Obviously, I'm doing this live stream right now, so it's a little bit more wearing on my computer. But you know, we click this push listings to Airtable, and that's going to take every single listing on this page, either add it to Airtable if it's not already in the base, or it's going to update that listing. You'll never get a duplicate, right? So if you've added these listings before, it's going to say update Airtable. It's just going to go ahead and sync that listing again. You'll get any updated information that might exist. So if you have an updated BSR because you've made sales, if you have any updated review information, all of that information is going to then be synced into your Airtable base, and you don't have to worry about anything creating any kind of duplicates. Okay. So that is important. Again, this is certainly going a lot slower than it normally would, but my computer is definitely a little bit under the gun with the live stream that we're running right now. So we'll just let that keep going for a second, and I will, let's see, I'll pop over and look at some comments and see if there's anything that's relevant at the moment. I think these guys got you guys pretty well covered. So maybe I will just come back to that at the end. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, so that's finishing up now. I'm just going to pop back over to my dashboard. Oops, that's not where we're supposed to be. And as you can see now, all of these that were lit up red are now lit up green and say update Airtable. Okay, so that's push listings. You can also individually update any listing by just clicking update Airtable, or when it was red, you could have clicked add to Airtable, and that just will add that particular listing and ignore anything else. Okay, relist all remove products. It's grayed out for me at the moment because I'm on a page that doesn't have any products that need to be relisted. But if I pop over here where I've got a ton of them, and I was to hover over it, you'll see. And these tooltips, I know you almost want to shake them off, right? Because they're system tooltips, and we're working on that, I promise. But if you look, Rick's done a really great job at actually labeling what all these buttons do, and I think most people miss that. So if you hover over relist all remove products, it says relist all remove products that are in your active base. What it will do is it'll look on the current page of listings. Now, this is the important stuff that I think a lot of people miss. It's going to look on this current page of listings for products that need to be relisted, that have been removed. It's going to only bring up the ones that are relevant to your current active base. Okay, so if they weren't in your active base, it can't relist them, right? Because it doesn't have the information for them available to relist them, because Amazon doesn't provide that. Okay, so you want to make sure that we've got this data in the base, and then you're on the active base that contains that data. If you click that, it's going to open up a new tab for each and every single one of these products that need to be relisted. Okay, update sales statistics, and I'll go through the whole relisting process in a little bit, and I'll try to keep it short. But update sales statistics, you click it, and this is one like the automatic sync button. This does not apply just to the single page. It applies across your entire Merch by Amazon account. So when you click update sales statistics, it gives you this warning box. This will update sales across all marketplaces and may take some time. Are you sure you want to run this now? You'd click OK. I'm going to click cancel. But that would go ahead and update the sales statistics across your entire account each and every time that you push that button. Okay. And that's what happens there. Okay. So more. Okay, so below what we'll find is next to each and every product listing, we've got a couple of other additions. So the first thing is you've got these little quick price changers, these price tweakers. So you can easily press this button if you wanted to increase by a penny, decrease by a penny, increase by $1, decrease by $1. And what'll happen is it'll just automatically open up that edit page with that adjustment made for you. It'll show you the adjustment made so that you can actually see what's going on before you submit the product. Easy peasy, nice and convenient if you want to just make those quick adjustments, especially, after a particular shirt has made a sale. Some people think you make that adjustment, it gives you a little tweak, a little bump in the algorithm. I have no idea, but you know what? Great. If it does, that's fantastic, and we've got an easy way for you to do it. You've also got the edit buttons right here, which are super convenient because, it's a lot easier than having to click the drop down and click edit. I know it's one click, but you know what? One click over many products really starts to add up. So convenience, we're all about convenience. Couple other little things up top I just want to hit that I missed. So the first thing, this is a good one. It's the sync updates only button. And I think probably most people have no idea what this does. So pay good attention here, I promise you. If you're using more than one base, that is the only time this is relevant. So if you're using just one Airtable base, this does not matter to you whatsoever. But if you're using multiple bases, here's the deal. Here's how it's going to work. And this is applicable to both start automatic sync as well as to push listings to Airtable. So this is with regard to both of these features, this little toggle, okay? What this means is, let's just say I'm using push listings to Airtable. When this is enabled, the only listings that will be pushed when I click the push button are listings that are already in the active base. They will be updated, right? So what's happening is Merch Wizard is going to basically compare the listings to the active base. It's going to match them by their ASIN, and it's only going to update listings. If you have new listings or listings that aren't in that active base, it's going to skip them and ignore them completely. Now, why would you want to do that? And this, again, the same holds true for Start Automatic Sync. So why would you want to do that? Well, let's say you have your products broken down into different bases by niche. So let's say that you have your cat base and you have your unicorn base, okay? All your shirts are either cats or unicorns. So you're currently looking at a whole mess of shirts, right? Some of them might be cats and unicorns. You may have something else, whatever the case may be. You want to just go ahead and you want to get all of your bases updated. What you would do is you would select from the list just your unicorn base. You would click Sync Updates Only, and you would click Start Automatic Sync. Or if the products were listed on this page, you could click push listings to Airtable. But let's say you click Automatic Sync. All that's going to happen is Merch Wizard's going to run through your entire base, and it's only going to update those unicorn listings. It's not going to add any of the cat listings or the dog listings or the fish listings or the lizard listings or the new listings that you added yesterday. All it's going to do is look for the existing unicorn listings that are already in the base and pull in up-to-date information about them. When you're using multiple bases, in order to add new products, you're obviously going to want to do that a little bit more manually. So as let's say you add, 20 or 50 products or 2 products or whatever, you could just use the push listings to Airtable button or the individual buttons to get them into the appropriate active base. And then you would use the Start Automatic Sync or the push listings to Airtable in conjunction with the Sync Updates Only to get only the appropriate listings updated for the active base. I hope that makes sense. Again, if it doesn't, ask questions in the comments. The rest of the team's in there and they can try to answer them. And I can also come back to it toward the end, but I just want to run through then. Create new products. This is an easy one. This is literally just, you enter in 5 here, you click go. It's going to open up blank product pages. So there's not a lot of craziness happening there. That's fairly simple to understand, but we just want to make sure that you have that basic feature, which, I find certainly very helpful. And right over here, if you've ever missed it, is just a little bit of a navigation menu. If you need easy access to our knowledge base, our website, videos, you want to open Airtable or access our Facebook community, you can do that very simply right there. And of course, you can always see your tier level. So with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start. I just showed you, we already did this one, populating your Airtable with your data. So I'm going to show you how to actually go ahead then and list a product. And this is where we're digging in. Listing a product is very, very simple to do with Merch Wizard. From the starter tier up, we make it super simple to just automatically insert your data from products that you already have listed, from new products that you can create within your Airtable base in the new listings table, from the scalar table, which will help you to create dynamically generated product data using Airtable, which is totally awesome and makes use of Airtable formulas. You'll love it. It's really cool, and we can certainly get more into that again in another video in the future. So I just want to, bear with me one second. So I'm going to go ahead and list a new product, and what I'm going to do, so we have all these new product tabs open. I'll just close most of them out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and list a new product based on an existing product. So I'll take my Cats Are Magical shirt, and I'll go ahead and get this one listed in the German marketplace. So I'm just going to go ahead and click Standard T-shirt. I'm going to click Amazon DE. And in order to get my file uploaded again, I could do it the old school way. If I'm on a Mac, I can download the file very easily by scrolling down and clicking T-shirt PNG and downloading the file. But if I'm on a PC, I'm just going to click the Copy PNG URL button. I'm going to pop right over here. I'm going to click Upload. I'm going to paste it in where it says File Name, and I'm going to click Open. And of course, I could be using my keyboard to do this as well. I'm just showing you with my mouse to make it a little bit more visual. It's going to go ahead and upload my PNG design file. I didn't have to have any manual access to that, so that's super awesome and certainly super easy, and it made it very convenient. Once my file is uploaded, I'm just going to go ahead and continue through the process. Now, just to tell you again, starter tier and above also do have access to shortcut keys. And as we know, shortcut keys make the world go around. They make life certainly a lot easier. Our default shortcut keys use the Alt key, which is available, I'm told, on both PC and Mac. So isn't that convenient? But it also may be called the Option key on your Mac, depending on the model that you have. So you'll want to pay attention to that. But the default shortcut keys that we're using, a few of them, we've got Alt W, which is activates the wizard, the browser extension. And by doing that, by clicking Alt W and activating the browser extension, what's going to happen is it's going to take the data, because we've already clicked on, we already have a particular product open, right? We have our Cats Are Magical product open within our browser extension. It's going to take the data relevant to the page of the listing that I'm on right now from that listing, and it's going to insert the data. So I'm going to go ahead and click Alt W. I may have screwed up my, okay, well, you know what? Technical problems, 80%, right? I may have screwed up my my browser shortcuts before I started this, because I had multiple versions of the extension installed, and it's quite possible that I didn't put things back how they should be. But I guess we're about to find out. So anyway, here is the product data. As you can see, you can click it with your mouse as well. You click it, it automatically populates my colors, my fit types, and my price, right? I click Save Selection and Continue. Oh, I can click Alt S, so I must not have screwed up that one. I've gotten signed out, so bear with us a second. So I click Alt S, it brings me into the next page. Once again, I should be able to click Alt W, but I seem to have screwed up that browser shortcut. That's not Merch Wizard's fault, that's my fault. But I can just go ahead and click the extension icon, and that's going to go ahead and insert my data. And very easily, you can see now that my data is populated. Now, here's another awesome thing. We're in the German marketplace, right? So, of course, you want to make sure that you check your translations and such first. Your trademarks and copyrights and such. But if you just simply click the Translate Text to German button, if you simply click the Translate Text to German button, then you'll see that that actually does go ahead and translate your text utilizing the Amazon translation engine. So that's super convenient. Now, sometimes, and I don't know if it's going to happen. We're going to find out. We're living on the edge right now. Sometimes when the text is converted into German, it ends up being a little bit too long for the bullets. So, you know, you want to just kind of manage that yourself. I mean, that just depends on how much text you've put into your bullet points. So I'm going to go ahead and click Generate Description Text and show you what that button does too, because what that's going to do, let's say we didn't have a description there. The Generate Description Text button is just a nice little feature that's going to grab text from your brand, your title, your bullet points, and it's going to go ahead and spit that out right there with one click into your description. And that's just convenient. So that's nice. We click Save Selection and Continue. We cross our fingers that nothing's too long. It's not. It's magical. And we could have again clicked Alt S. And what we can do here is, again, we can click Alt S to submit product. Let's see if I've got Alt C working. Alt C, you can actually skip past the submit product. You know how normally you have to click submit product and they ask you to confirm it. Well, if Alt C is working, we just click it one time. Boom, we've skipped that whole step. Wow, another click missed. It's pretty awesome. All right, we're good to go. So next, all right, we've listed a product. We're so cool. We've tried that. You know what we're going to do next? We're going to do the relister. So the relister is just about one of my favorite features that's part of Merch Wizard, because it lets you really it does what I'm gonna have a hard time spitting out words for a second, but it does what I feel that Merch probably should have done from the very beginning, that we all want, right? We want easy access to relist our products that have been removed for no sales. And I know a lot of people want to use this feature and are signing up for this feature. This feature does come at the pro tier of Merch Wizard and above. So if you're on the starter tier, go get yourself upgraded. I promise you it'll be well worth it. I'm just going to go ahead and pull up a list of removed products. So I've got my removed products. Now you can see that they're active within my base. So I get the relist product button right here. Again, I can click relist all removed products and it's going to open up all of these, but I don't really want to do that right now. I'm just going to do one and run through the process real quickly and show you how it's done. So I'm going to go ahead and click my bird shirt, favorite bird t-shirt, click relist, and it's going to go ahead and open up this tab. And what it's going to do is it's going to add the Merch Wizard relister information right here within the listing window, which just makes things so easy. So again, if you're on Mac, you don't even have to access, that's the beauty of the Relister, is you don't have to access the Merch Wizard Chrome extension. You don't have to do any searching. You're just going to pull the information right here on the page, 1, 2, 3, and you're good to go. So you could download PNG if you're on Mac. Once again, you can click copy PNG URL. If you're on PC, you can click upload, 1, 2, 3. We're going to go ahead and paste that in, hit enter, and we're going to get our PNG file uploaded. If we wanted to now see this particular record in Airtable, we can click the Open in Airtable button, and it'll bring us right to this record within our Airtable base. I'll just show you real quick. So you could go ahead and edit it. You can say this was removed. You can delete it. You can do whatever it is that you'd like to do there. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to, move to the next step, and I can use my Control S shortcut. And you'll see once again on this page, I've already got my information right here. It tells me the information if I want to say it, but I can populate attributes if I click the Populate Attributes button. And I believe we've got actually Alt-R is the Relister shortcut. So if you hit Alt-R, that'll actually activate these Relister buttons as well. But I've got my information there. I'm going to go ahead and move to the next step. So as you can see, the actual relisting process is just near instantaneous at this point. Once again, I can click populate text boxes. I also have access to my translations and description generators should I want them, but who really needs them? I find a lot of times my products are removed, and you should certainly look over your product data and determine if you need to make any adjustments before you move on. But the reality of the situation is, I think, just my feeling as a seller is that sometimes you just, you get the right place at the right time, and sometimes you don't. And there's a lot of shirts on Amazon, and sometimes you need to be worked in at the right moment in time. And sometimes I will not sell the shirt for the entire length of time. It'll be taken down for no sales. I go ahead and relist it, and the shirt sells 3 days later. So it just goes to show that it isn't necessarily my keywords, titles, or my product design, but rather, maybe just my luck that day. But anyway, so I'll just click populate text boxes. We're good to go. We move on to the next step. And again, you could be editing at that point. And that's literally, it's ready to relist now. I hit with one click, I'm going to hit my Alt-C, and I'm going to go ahead and submit my product. Now, when I do this, what you're going to notice is I'm going to get two new buttons, and you've got to give it a second. So if you don't see them immediately, give it a second to load, and you're going to see mark old record as relisted and delete old record. Mark old record as relisted is going to mark it as relisted within your merch dashboard, and delete old record is going to delete it out of your Airtable base. They don't go together, right? Because here's the thing. If you mark old record as relisted, that's marking it in your dashboard for you to see. But if you delete it from your base, then the dashboard doesn't know that it was relisted. So it's kind of a catch-22. So you want to kind of pick or choose. Me personally, I prefer to do mark old record as relisted. And the reason I do that is because then I can actually quickly access that. And let's just see real quickly. Let me pull up that list once again. Moved. And you can see here that this product has been relisted. And the reason I'll do that is because I may be relisting many different products at the same time. And then at the end, I want to just come through my dashboard and run through really quickly and delete all of the products that I've relisted so that I only have one version of them here in my dashboard. And then you can just go back and you can certainly delete them within Airtable after the fact. And that's the Relister. It's freaking awesome. You're going to love it. If you're not on the pro tier, honestly, if that's not enough to push you over the edge, I don't know what you're waiting for, because it's awesome. All right, next. The next most awesome thing, I don't know, maybe it's an even more awesome thing. I'm not really sure. I guess this is up to you, but it's the batch editor, right? It's more relevant at this particular moment in time. And the reason why the batch editor is so relevant right now is that we just added an awesome new feature to help you stay in compliance with the new content policy that was released last week, where, take these color words out and take these texture words out and so on and so forth. That's nice if you've got like 20 merch listings, but when you've got like 5,000, that's a real pain in somewhere. So you want to make sure that you keep it nice and easy for yourself. And I don't know any other easier way than utilizing Merch Wizard, but it's not just for that. The batch editor is going to also allow you easy access to edit your pricing, to edit if you wanted to edit your brand name across many different products. Sometimes your brand gets hijacked. You want to change it across all your products. This is an easy way to do it. Let me just show you real quickly how we make this happen. So I'm going to go ahead here into my browser extension. I'm going to go over to my first page. I'm going to pull up a list of my t-shirts that are favorite keyword, right? I'm going to use product type, standard, and I'm going to choose the fit type. No, I think that's probably all right. Yeah, that works. Okay. Now I can look at my list of products and I can determine which of these products, because I'm just using the word favorite. Pretend the word favorite is the word glitter, and we want to remove that word, right? So I'm looking through my products. Which are the ones that need to be edited? I could go ahead once again and I can select all of them, or I can go ahead and I can select some of them and cherry pick the ones that I want to edit. That's up to me what it is that I want to do. So I'll just go ahead and select these 5 and I'll click the batch edit button right here. Now, as you can see, once we're in the batch editor, we've got several options. We can update brand. That's pretty straightforward. Whatever you put in there is going to go ahead and get replaced as the brand. Update price gives you 2 options, and it's so cool. So you can choose to either overwrite the price or you can choose to adjust the price, right? So overwrite the price says, I want to take all the products I just selected. I want to change them to all be $18.99. And adjust the price says, I want to take all the products I just selected and I want to raise them all by $1. Okay. And then we've got find and replace, right? So this is where the magic comes in. This is how you're going to get your account and make sure that it stays in compliance with terms, with the new policies now and forever, because let's face it, this is not going to be the last change that we see from Amazon in terms of content policy. You can enter your word in here. So like looking at our listing, we know we've got favorite mammal. So I'm just going to put the word favorite. We can choose what we want to replace it with. I'll say nice. We'll choose the word nice. And then you can choose to match case or not match case. That's just a preference as to whether or not you want to make this case sensitive or not. I'm going to make it not case sensitive in this case just for simplicity, but you can make it case sensitive if you'd like to. You can enter in up to 5 different keywords or keyword strings. Of course, they need to be in a specific order that they're in your listings. So you can enter in 5 keywords in a row if they're always the same 5 in the same order with the commas and the spaces in the same place. I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to click Open Edit Tabs. And as you can see, my tabs are opening here, ready for me to make any further adjustments that I need to make. So what's happened is, as you can see, the word favorite has been replaced throughout the entire listing with the word nice. And as you can see, my price has been adjusted from its original $19.99 to $20.99. I can feel confident. I can feel comfortable. I can say save selection and continue. I can move on to the next listing, and I can make sure I get all of my listings very easily and very quickly in compliance. I can very easily and very quickly make price adjustments. Again, brand name adjustments. This is really just like one of the coolest features that exists, and I may be a little bit partial. It's possible. But anyway, I love it. It's awesome. That's it. You guys know how to submit a product, so I don't need to show you that. And that, my friends, is the batch editor. So we've been through the relister, the batch editor. Batch editor also a pro feature. If you're on starter tier or if you are sitting here on free tier and wondering if you should upgrade, if I had to vote just as an Amazon seller having nothing to do with this Merch Wizard app, I would say that those 2 features alone are more than enough to make it well worth signing up for the pro tier. The next thing I want to show you guys is the store generator. And this is so simple and so cool. It's really easy. So I'm just going to go ahead and go back to my search results. Once again, I'm going to clear my filters. I'm going to search for the word favorite once again. I'm going to pull up my products. I'm going to decide what do I want. Now I've got a friend, and my friend says to me, I love shirts about animals that are in light blue, they're like the best shirts ever. Can you please give me a list of all of your light blue shirts about animals? So I pull up my shirts and I'm like, all right, well, I don't want to show them my entire brand because I have some like red shirts about animals and some blue shirts about carpentry, and they don't want to see those. So I'm just going to go ahead and select all of the ones that are relevant to my friend, to my subscribers, to my Facebook page, to wherever it is that I'm planning to share this. And I'm going to go ahead and click those off. I'm going to click the USA Marketplace, or it could be one of the others as well, but you do have to choose a marketplace. I'm going to click the Generate Store button, and it's going to automatically create me an Amazon short link that you can see right here. I can copy that link address. I can click it. And if you see, that link is going to just have the products. It's going to be a direct link to the products that I just selected, right? And now you can go ahead and you can share that with anyone you like. Pretty awesome. All right, now the final thing I want to mention here, well, two real quick things. I want to just talk really quickly about OrbitKit. I'm not going to get into the details of OrbitKit other than to say it's really, really awesome. And, the bottom line is if you've got a ton of listings on merch, and you are not putting those listings like everywhere else that you possibly can, what are you even doing with your life? I don't know. What am I doing with my life? But here's the thing. That's how you make real money in POD, right? You want to get everything all over the place. We're making it easy for you. OrbitKit's making it easy for you. You go ahead, you get yourself set up with an OrbitKit account. You can do that easily on our website. The OrbitKit guys are totally hooking you up. They're giving you $5 for your first month. They're on the standard plan. They're giving you $20 on their premium plan. So you can grab that for a month without having to worry about like any kind of a major investment. But it's really easy. So it's the same deal. The same selectors that you're using for the batch editor, for the Generate Store, you're going to use for your OrbitKit. So you go ahead, you perform your search, and you're like, all right, I want to send all of these listings over to OrbitKit, and you're just going to go ahead and you are going to select them. But I've probably screwed this whole process up by not having tags listed in my, you know what, you guys, this is my demo base, and it's, it's a demo base. So bear with me. Let me see, because I know there's something I've done wrong here. Maybe I don't have my OrbitKit account in there. Yep, that's probably going to be the problem. So you're not going to get to see OrbitKit, and I'm sorry. And please, don't hate me. But here's the thing. Once you have your OrbitKit information, you sign up for your account, they're going to give you an OrbitKit API key. You're going to pop it right in here. You're going to paste it in. It's so easy. You can see it in all of our videos, and I can certainly share more information about that. All you would do is you would literally click off the ones you want to send to OrbitKit. You push the push to OrbitKit button, and they get pushed to OrbitKit. I wasn't really going to show you much more than that, so really no big loss. And that's how OrbitKit works. Now, the only final thing I want to show you, this is like bonus feature 101 really quickly, because again, this is something I think a lot of people are not aware of. And I promise you, you don't have to worry. Airtable will not hurt you. It's very, very innocent. If you go to your Airtable base and you take a look here, you're going to find you have this really cool thing. Views, right? You can add a view, a grid view. You can do forms, calendar, gallery, Kanban. But let's say you want to add a view. Let's say you want to make your life really easy and just be able to pull up just your long sleeve shirts that are listed in the United States anytime you want. All you would have to do is click create a new grid view. You can call it long sleeve shirts. Right? And then you can work and you can play with your filters and your groups and your sorting to work out how you want to have this view available to you. So I can then add a filter for product type, and I can say contains long, right? And that's going to bring up just my long sleeve shirts. Now, I can leave Airtable, and yet anytime I come back, I'm going to have easy access to long sleeve shirts. Now, maybe you don't really care about long sleeve shirts, but maybe you want to have a view that is just products that have reviews, right? Because that would be pretty freaking awesome. So then all you'd have to do is filter, and you can start typing the word review to get that field up, where you could say number of reviews is equal to or less than, equal to or greater than, well, you could say is not empty, but let's say equal or greater 1. You hit enter, and it's going to bring up just your products that have reviews so that you can now take a look at them anytime you like. And it'll automatically, as you push new listings into your base that have reviews, they'll automatically get sorted into this view. So this is how you can easily access this information here. You can also group, so you could, group then by brand, by price point if you wanted to. You can group things however you like. You can sort by any field that you like. So you have so much access to so many powerful features right within Airtable 2. And I just wanted to really quickly touch on that because I think a lot of people are missing out by not at least trying that. That's really all I've got to say because I just talked a lot. And hopefully I covered everything. I'm just going to kind of like back through the comments really for a second and see if I've missed anything. And there's anything that is important that I should touch on that these guys haven't said. So, team, I am looking at our message. So if there's anything in particular that you guys think I need to cover, maybe you guys could let me know now. Otherwise, I'm going to just go ahead and look at the actual comments. Wait, I hear myself. Hold on. We don't want that to happen. All right. Okay. Well, I don't know. All right, let's see. I see like lots of chatting, lots of stuff going on here. But I really think that you guys are pretty well covered. I don't know. I think that's about it. I'm gonna end this show and I'm gonna say goodbye because I think these guys covered pretty freaking much everything rather. And I think that we've gone through it all. If you guys have any additional questions, throw them into the comments. As you know, if you are a premium tier, we have support as well. I did want to mention, keep your eyes open for another awesome new wizard coming very soon. Go try OrbitKit. Life is great. And I think that's about it. So have a nice day. Bye.